To M. Dostoyevsky, Petersburg, November 26, 1846. How could you, most precious friend, write that I was angry with you for not sending me the money and attribute my silence to that? How could you have imagined any such thing? And finally, what reason can I have given you for assuming anything of the sort? If you love me, do me a favor and dismiss any such ideas once and for all. Let's see to it that things are simple and straightforward between us. Let me declare aloud and emphatically that, as it is, I owe you a lot, and that it would be ridiculous and despicably piggish on my part not to admit it. But enough of that for now. Better that I tell you of my present circumstances and do my best to give you as clear a picture of everything as possible. First of all the publishing plans have burst like a bubble, and nothing has come of them. It wasn't worthwhile, it was taking up too much time, and it was not the right moment. The public maybe wouldn't have gone along with it. I'll put out an edition next fall. By that time, the public will have got to know me better, and my position will be more clear-cut. Furthermore, I'm expecting to receive a few advances. Illustrations for the double have already been done by a Moscow artist. 2 others are now doing the illustrations for Poor Folk. We'll see which will be the better. Bernardsky says that he would like to start negotiating with me in February and to pay me a certain sum for the right to publish an illustrated edition. Until that time, he has his hands full with Dead Souls. In short, for the time being, I have lost interest in publishing things on my own. Anyway, I have no time for it. I have a slew of work and of orders. I must tell you that I have had the unpleasant experience of breaking off irrevocably with contemporary in the person of Nekrasov. He was offended with me for going ahead and giving my stories to Krajewski, to whom I owe money, and for refusing to declare publicly that I was not connected with Notes of the Fatherland. When he had lost hope of getting a story from me in the near future, he became rude and was unwise enough to demand that I return him the money. I took him at his word and gave him a note payable on December 15th for the sum in question. I want them to come crawling back to me. They are all despicable and envious. While I was giving Nekrasov a piece of my mind, he just kept squirming around, trying to wriggle out of the situation like a Jew who's being robbed. To put it in a nutshell, it was quite an unsavory scene, and now they are circulating rumors that I have been smitten with my own importance, that I fancy myself God knows what, and that I am going over to Krajewski because Makov is enthusiastic about me. Even Nekrasov intends to disparage me. As to Belinsky, he is such a weak man that even when it comes to literary opinions, he can come up with 5 Fridays in 1 week. However, I have maintained good relations with him. He is a noble person. In the meantime, Krajewski, taking advantage of the opportunity, gave me money, and on top of that promised to pay all my debts for me by December 15th. In return, I'll be working for him until the spring. Well, you see, brother, from all this I have deduced a wise precept. The most unprofitable course that a burgeoning talent can follow is to become friendly with the owners of publishing enterprises. For the inevitable consequence of it is familiarity, followed by various dirty tricks. What I need is an independent position and a chance to work with dedication for holy art in all the purity of my heart. A heart that has never before vibrated and throbbed within me the way it does now before the new images and characters that are springing up in my mind. Brother, I feel I have been reborn, and reborn not only in the spiritual but in the physical sense as well. There has never before been within me such richness and clarity, such evenness of character, such physical vigor. For all this I owe much to my friends the Beketovs, to Solyubetsky, and to the others with whom I am living. They are sensible people, intelligent, kind-hearted, generous, and of strong character. Being in their company cured me, and so in the end I suggested we live together. We found a large apartment, and all our expenses on board and lodging do not exceed 1,200 rubles in currency bills a year per person. That is how great the advantages of association can be. I have my own room, and I work there the whole day through. My new address, which I would like you to use when you write, is apartment 26, Solashich House, opposite the Lutheran Church, first line on Bolshoi Prospect, Vasilevsky Island. My congratulations, my dearest friend, on the arrival of my 3rd nephew. I wish all the best to him and to Amelia Fyodorovna. I love you all 3 times as much now, and please don't be angry with me, my priceless brother, for writing you something that is less a letter than a piece of paper covered with scribbles. I am in a hurry. People are waiting for me, but I'll write again on Friday. You may consider this letter unfinished. Your friend Dostoyevsky. Footnote. About a month before this letter, Dostoyevsky had written to Mikhail enthusiastically about a proposal to put out a separate edition of Poor Folk on his own in order to avoid being swindled by the book dealers, but he had no capital for the venture, and so he had asked Mikhail for a loan of 200 silver rubles. Yevstafi Bernardsky, born 1819, was a wood engraver who in 1846 produced the illustrations for Gogol's Dead Souls. Valerian Nikolaevich Maykov, 1823 to 1847, was one of the compilers of the Pocket Dictionary of Foreign Words that have become part of the Russian language, 1845 to 1846, which was intended to play the same role in Russia that Voltaire's Dictionnaire Philosophique had played in France. The book was severely criticized by the investigator of the Petersburg affair. Maykov was one of the few who admired the work that Dostoyevsky was publishing after Poor Folk. Dostoyevsky was very friendly with him, and his death at the age of 24 was a blow. Dostoyevsky transferred his affection to Valerian's older brother, Apollon, who became a lifelong friend. The Beketovs were three brothers: Alexei Nikolaevich, born 1823, Andrei Nikolaevich, 1825 to 1902, and Nikolai Nikolaevich, born 1827, with whom Dostoyevsky shared living quarters for about 2 years. The two younger brothers later become professors at Petersburg University.